Fabio Wardley knocks out Joseph Parker in the 11th round to capture the interim WBO heavyweight title. Well, I am certainly glad I did not bother betting on that fight because I would have lost all my money. I would have picked Joseph Parker to win by knockout, to be honest, or decision. But I definitely had Parker for the win. Now, let's start with the ending. Folks are saying that perhaps that stoppage was too early. So let's take a look at that. One argument is, given the fighter that Joseph Parker is, meaning he's known to be durable, he's known to go through rough spots in a fight and be able to come back, weather the storm. Given that, and the fact that it's for this interim title, which lines winner up to potentially challenge Usyk, given all of that, given who Parker is and the magnitude of the fight, the argument is the ref should have allowed Parker to continue, because maybe he could have turned it around. Now, that's possible. Looking at it from the other side of the coin, Wardley did land more than 24 punches in sequence. Now, here's the key thing, as far as I'm concerned, as to whether the ref did the right thing. It all boils down to what we could not see on camera, and that would be, did the ref issue Joseph Parker fair warning at least twice? That would be my criteria. So, for example, when a ref sees there's one fighter against the ropes like that, he's in a bit of trouble, taking a lot of punches, or in Parker's case, he wasn't really taking the punches, but he's not doing anything to fire back. So at a certain point, the ref should say to the fighter who's in trouble, "Hey, Joseph, show me something." And what that means is, Joseph, you need to start throwing punches back at Fabio Wardley. Now, that's the initial warning. If another sequence goes by where Wardley lands 5, 6, 7 unanswered punches, maybe the ref says a second time, "Joseph, I really need to see something from you." If there's still no response and Wardley gets off another 3, 4, 5, 6 punches, then it's all fair for the ref to stop the fight. So the question is, did that referee, in fact, issue a couple of verbal warnings to Joseph Parker prior to stepping in? I don't know. Maybe somebody with footage from the opposite side of the ring facing the referee, maybe they'd be able to pick that up. But I've yet to see any footage of that. But now, that being said, we can't take away from the fact that Fabio Wardley was probably down on the cards, meaning he was going to lose that fight if it went to decision. He had just a couple of rounds to turn things around in his direction, and he managed to get himself, as we say, back into the fight. I believe it was one of Wardley's nice straight up the middle right uppercuts that started off that sort of sequence of it was easy 24 punches thrown by Wardley to close. But we can't take away from Wardley, because first he had Parker hurt early on in the second round. Parker then came back, started to turn things around, had the momentum in his favor. But to be honest, even on our live stream, I did say I thought that Parker should have been doing a little bit more in those middle rounds, meaning there was a lot of empty space that I felt that Parker could have taken advantage of, either by doing a little more feinting to set up Fabio Wardley for his bigger combination shots. I felt that Parker was very economical with his punches. I understand that he doesn't want to overshoot and risk being countered with one of Fabio's big punches, because we all know that Fabio does have that one punch knockout power. But I think we have to give a ton of credit to Wardley for his mental resilience in being able to weather the storm all the way through those middle rounds, and then find a moment towards the end of the 10th to rally and get things going his way in that 11th round, which we could argue that up to that point we could have given that round to Parker. So if you didn't see the fight live, you're always welcome to rewatch our live stream, or really, you should watch the fight in full. It's a terrific boxing matchup. Lots of back and forth ebbs and flows, so you'll enjoy it as a real combat sport fan. Now, I admit, I was really surprised by how the fight ended, and I hope that was evident in the little clip outtake. You'll be able to see that also in one of my shorts. So if you did join us, or if you did watch the fight live, please share your thoughts about whether you felt that stoppage was early or not, and why. If you haven't seen the fight yet, please do. And again, once you watch it, let us know your favorite moments in the Fabio Wardley Joseph Parker fight. Thank you.